and the odds were 42 to 1. If you put $100 on Buster Douglas, you would have walked away with a profit of $42,000. And that bet came in. That bet came in.
In action.
G'day, how are you today?
Good, mate. Good. How's it hanging?
Yeah, I'm good as well. Welcome to the talk show. Today we are joined by Benjamin, is that correct?
Ben, mate.
Ben, mate. Any other names that you go by, Ben?
I've got many aliases that I'm not going to reveal to you.
And today we are exposing the truth on the gambling industry from a professional gambler, such as Ben. Is that correct?
Yeah, like call me professional or part-time professional or wannabe or...
Wannabe, okay. Cool.
Wannabe, we'll figure it out and you can make your mind up for yourself.
No worries. Well, first question I'd like to start off with. What is a professional gambler and what exactly separates them from the everyday gambler?
A philosophical foundation to start with, you know what I mean? The understanding that you're not going to really, you're not going to win. You know what I mean? If you just go in there and gamble, you know, you're not just going to rock down to the club and put money in the poker machines and win. The more you partake in these activities, the more than likely you're going to lose. The professional gambler understands this and doesn't partake in those activities pretty much, you know what I mean? He has a mathematical outlook. I don't gamble, so I wouldn't call myself a professional gambler. I call myself a responsible gambler. And we hear it a lot, don't you, on the TV?
Responsible gambling, all those ads and whatnot.
Yeah. But what really happens when you gamble responsibly, it's a totally different sort of kettle of fish, you know what I mean, sort of thing. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the bookmakers have got to make money somehow.
And could you explain to me what a bookmaker is?
Quite generally these days, all the big corporates are referred to as bookmakers. You know, everyone refers to the tab as a bookmaker, your sports bet player, you know, Ladbrokes. They're not a bookmaker, like the tab's not a bookmaker. The tab's got lots of little bookmakers working for them called traders. Okay. Yeah, like instead of a trader working down at the racetrack for themselves, all the traders are working on the computers these days for big corporations, pretty much. Pretty much what I do is what they do at home by myself.
So how did you find yourself exactly in the professional gambling scene?
Well, I started out playing blackjack on video games. Okay. Playing blackjack on Grand Theft Auto. One of the first things most professional gamblers learn how to do is they learn how to play blackjack, a lot of them, or poker, and they learn how to play perfect blackjack or perfect poker, you know what I mean, because you're playing it that much that you learn to play perfect. When you play blackjack and you play poker that much, for example, you're playing on a video game and you're sitting there for hours and you're trying to hack a video game and you learn how to play these games perfectly when you're playing that much, you know what I mean? Or you're sitting at home with mum and dad and you're learning how to play cards. Say if you get right into it with mum and dad, you learn how to play real good. And then you get to the point where, you know, like in real life, for example, you understand that, you know, that casinos have these games, poker and blackjack, and that's where they're making their money. Yeah. So you sort of, you know, any reasonable mathematician would understand that. And so you do your research and it eventually leads to activities like card counting.
Card counting? Could you explain that to me, please?
When you, say in a casino has, you know, they're playing blackjack at a table at a casino, and they will usually play with it's called a shoe, a stack of cards, and it usually has 4 to 6, sometimes 8 more decks, sort of thing, and you know, the more decks in that shoe, the harder it is for card counters to keep track of what's in the deck, sort of thing. So a card counter will literally has the ability to count the cards that come out of the deck, because you get to see everybody's cards in the casino on the blackjack table. So, and for example, you know, you would score the card 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You know, such and such. You score your 10s. and your 9 such and such, and the cards in between that are neutral cards, sort of thing, and you use systems to keep track of what's basically in the deck. See, with blackjack, for example, you've got it's a game where if you're counting cards, you want to keep track of how many 10s are in the deck. And because there's more 10s in the deck than anything else, and 2 10s makes 20, which you're nearly at 21 then, sort of thing. So you want to, so they develop, professional gamblers who count cards will develop ways to keep track of the cards that are in the deck. Using mathematical systems. They don't necessarily count every card, but they have an idea what's left in the deck. You know, and then once a professional gambler is confident that the cards that he requires are in the deck, he will bet big. And the idea is to bet big when you know what's in the deck, and to bet.
So it's basically just mathematics at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And you only really want to put yourself in positions where you're going to win in the long term. So if you don't know how many cards are in that deck, you're not going to really bet that much money, because that's just stupid. You're really gambling your money away. So, but if you know what's in the deck, you're going to bet big, because you know you're going to win in the long run. The more bets you place, the more chances are that you're going to win. Even though you might know what's in the deck, but if you only put 2 or 3 bets on, you might not win. But if you put 1,000 bets on, you're more than likely going to sit and be ahead. That's why card counters travel around.
Okay. So as a professional gambler, and how professional gamblers affect the gambling industry as a whole, how do you view that exactly? If everyone was a professional gambler, there would be no gambling industry, sort of thing. And so you understand that. It's in our culture, you know what I mean? Gambling's in the Australian culture. We gamble the most out of any nation on earth, per capita, per person on average. So it's meant to be fun. And that's why it's there, you know what I mean? Because that's why the ads are there to gamble responsibly. It's meant to be fun, and you know, and you hope that people would see it in that light, you know what I mean? That's, you know, and sometimes I even throw a bet on just for fun, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So, but people get carried away in, you know what I mean, try and chase their losses and all this sort of thinking they're professionals when they're not. The gambling industry loves them, you know what I mean, like obviously, you know what I mean, because that's their bread and butter. Sort of thing, like and that's the strange part. So a bookmaker would look at somebody that's just, you know, lost their money, you know what I mean, and they've literally taken money off the family's table. And they're a good bloke to a bookmaker, but a proper winner is the scum of the earth. Sorry to interrupt. So to go back to the bookmakers, how do you view them?
I view them as the scum of the earth.
That's it.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. But in saying that, and that's only because that's how they view me. If there was a give and take relationship, well then I wouldn't see them like that. But they started it, sort of thing. So. You know what I mean? So like that they look at me as the absolute parasite. I'm the tick on their back that they can't, you know,
get off.
Sort of thing. And I just pop up at the next bookmaker when I get scratched off, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So they hate me. I'm the scum of the world, you know what I mean, sort of thing. And that, and
they view you the same way, pretty much.
That's and because we're just trying to take something from each other. You know what I mean? I'm trying to take something off their table. They're trying to take something off my table, and you know what I mean. But them at the end of the day, the bookmakers are the biggest, you know, gamblers, professional gamblers, because they're the ones putting themselves in a situation where they can win in the long term all the time by cutting the public's throat. So they've got it's what gets me is the ability to have these campaigns like the anti-gambling campaigns and the responsible gambling campaigns and you know what I mean, and everyone's caring about people losing money and stuff like that, you know what I mean, but
You know, nobody cares when they're taking food off my table. They're quick to want to get rid of the losers, or they on these you know, commercials, but they're a lot more quicker to get rid of the winners.
Right. So next question I really have for you and the bookies is, can you really get along?
I've tried that. I've tried that, and like they don't, like you could even, like I've shoved money down their throat before. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5 grand. Stick it up your ass. No, you know, then you get an email, you're banned. Just because they're looking at my patterns and they realise that in the long term I'm going to get them back, sort of thing. So I don't really see a way for us to get on, because they're all the same. There is no bookmaker out there that's different.
Yeah.
They're all the same. There's no, you know, they're not charities.
No, of course not. Yeah.
So then you wouldn't expect them to be, and that's, you know, so you don't blame them. You know what I mean? Like if I was a bookmaker, I'd be doing what they're doing too.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So it's a hard one, isn't it? You know what I mean? It is really a hard one, sort of thing. But what's interesting, but is, say when you ring up the government gambling regulators and stuff like that, and you tell them your story, say, look, you know, I'm a professional trader. You know, and I'm fucking the bookmakers up the arse, blah 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 blah, and they just turn around and say to you, well, you know, of course they're going to get rid of you because you're costing them. You know what I mean? So that's even their sort of the government's point of view. You know what I mean? When you got the regulators, even they're saying that. So you know what I mean? So where do you win?
So do you think there's something devious behind government doors with connection to the gambling industry?
Oh, of course there is, man. That's taxes. You know what I mean? And you look at the poker machine industry and the poker machine. What are they called? The people, the advocates, the poker machine advocates, and any time that some sort of minister will jump up and want to regulate the poker machine industry, basically, like, you know, they're never forced to suicide within a week, just with the amount of, you know, passes that they get. It's a very powerful industry, and it's sort of like these industries, like, you know, they're gambling, a lot of, you know, boxing, for example. You know, they started in the criminal, you know, underbelly. This is where gambling comes from. You know what I mean? There's bookmakers in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hustlers in prison. You know what I mean? That's, you know, boxing is the same story. It comes from the criminal underworld.
Yeah.
So you can't really expect anything more. You know, especially when, as I said, like, you know, Australia is the highest per capita gambling nation on the planet per head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the government's taking these taxes, you know, you're not going to regulate. You know what I mean? To a winner's standard. You know what I mean? To the point where I want it to be, because there's just too much money. They're killing it, man.
Of course.
You know, sort of thing. It's just how it works. Money talks and bullshit walks.
So how do you think that money affects the landscape, as in like websites and trading programs?
Yeah, that's what you've got these. A lot of websites, they will profess to teach you how to be a professional gambler. There's a lot of suspect websites out there, and I know they're doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're taking money from the bookmakers.
So how do you exactly pinpoint that they're scummy and not?
Because because people talk, and when you've got a certain amount of people, say all these people go to this website and they all sign up for this website, and then all these people, you know, one by one are getting banned from the bookmakers, like, you know what I mean? But basically these websites are set up so people will go there and sign up. And then these websites, because the bookmakers are funding these websites report to the bookmaker who's trying to, you know, become a professional gambler.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So the website, so basically that, you know, they know before you even have a bet with them that you're trying to put one over them, sort of thing. It's how it works. It's sort of thing. They will, Bet365 will fund, you know, a match betting site or something like that, and you know, and everyone will go sign up with them. that website will report back to Bet365, who reports to everybody on the bloody planet because they're the biggest web bookmaker on the planet.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So you're blackballed.
Blackballed.
You know, or black booked, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah. So that's sort of but yeah, they're not the people that they're only trying to get ahead. These people, so you don't blame them. But it's the smarter ones that understand that don't sign up with these websites, and it's the smarter ones that analyse these websites and understand that they're teaching the wrong way to do things. You know, and their percentages are down compared to what they should be. You know, and you look at their systems, and you understand that their systems, you know, can be bettered.
Yeah. Okay. So, as a professional gambler, what tactics would you use to make them fear you?
There's only one tactic in town that the bookmakers hate, you know, and it's when you steal value, and it's the only way to get ahead in the gambling landscape is when you steal value off them. Say there's a horse at odds for 20, and the bookmaker wants to reduce that to odds of 15, but you get it at odds of 20 or 21, 22 or 26. You know what I mean? And say that if you get that horse at odds of 26, but it's really a 1 in 15 chance of winning, then the more times you place that bet, the more likely you're going to finish ahead.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sort of thing. And the bookmakers hate that.
Okay.
They hate that. They hate when that happens. Sort of thing. You know, like they're just about to drop a price on something, and all this money comes in for it. You know what I mean? And so yeah, but there's only one there. So that's the only game in town.
Right.
It's value betting.
Value betting.
It's getting getting the things at the right price. It's as simple as that.
So could you, because I'm still a bit, I don't understand betting that much. Could you further explain how to value bet really?
Basically the gambling, the bookmakers want to drop the price on something, and they're told to drop the price by a regulator.
Okay. Yeah.
And that regulator basically is just being paid by the bookmakers to sit around and look at Betfair and tell everyone when to drop their price.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
So if you get there and you go and look on Betfair, and you compare their prices to the bookmakers, then you can see the Betfair prices drop underneath the bookmakers' price. The thing about Betfair is it actually has the real odds of situations and events occurring, where a bookmaker doesn't have the real odds of situations and events occurring. And what happens is Betfair will drop their price, and basically the bookmaker will follow suit, because the bookmaker doesn't want to. This is how much the bookmaker hates the public. He doesn't want to let the public have a free shot.
Right.
Simple as that, sort of thing.
Right.
And then if the bookmaker can keep his price underneath the Betfair price, well then he can trade out at any point in time as well.
So is there anything that you would preferably bet on?
Oh yeah, well you bet on frogs. You know, when two snails having a race, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, there's more horse races going on in the world than most other events. There's only 7 games of footy going on the weekend. There's 7 horse races going on between 12 and 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So that's where it's at. In the horses.
Yeah.
Because if the more bets you make, the more likely you're going to win. So, and there's more horse races than any other events on the planet. So that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Right. So let me just ask a very simple question. Have you had any luck with the pokies?
Well, when I was a kid, yeah. And I used to probably that's sort of what got me into gambling, like when I was a kid, because I used to sit down and play the poker machines when I was 15 at the pub, in Rocking. Then I had some luck back then, but never, not after I turned 18.
So, any more successes in professional gambling in your experiences?
There was this horse one time was racing at Cheltenham. It was called Burning Victory.
Burning Victory.
Yeah, and it was basically coming last or second last with it was basically coming second last with a furlong to go, and they've just give it everything. The jockeys give it everything, and it's storming home, and literally it's come from basically second last. It stormed home into second, and with one hurdle to go, and it was paying like odds of 16, and it was my first ever bet at the tab, and they've got this multiplier at the tab, which it multiplies your odds between at times is your odds between 1 and 6. So say if you get something at odds of 16, it times that by 5. So I ended up getting odds of 80 for this horse.
Right.
And it was stormed into second, and this is like midnight in the middle of the week, and I'm up watching it, and the leading horse tripped over the hurdle, and the jockeys come off, and my horse just stormed off, and just sort of one of those
cases of just luck, really.
Yeah. And that was my first ever bet at the tab, sort of thing. So ever since then, I was hooked.
Right. So ever since then, gambling's had quite a big shoe to fill since that first proper tab encounter. Right.
Yeah, sort of. You get a bit addicted after that, sort of thing, and that was just one of those moments.
Number 12,
moments of luck,
Burning
because
Victory.
I never won anything in my life, so like take home a cool $500. You know, I think it was off it was only off $5 or $10 or something like that. I think it was one of the things. It was a bloody good hit. It was a good hit. So I ended up trading that one well, all right. Yeah, sort of thing. But yeah, that was it. And I had another, but in saying that, but like I've had situations where I've lost thousands of dollars on bets. So it's not the fact that because it was $500 win. It was just the fact that when it happened, and it gave me inspiration, sort of thing. So and looking at it from years later and having trades where I've lost $1,000 on a trade accidentally. You know, and you look at the situation. Oh, well, you know what I mean. That's just my fault. I stuffed up. You know what I mean. Blah blah blah. But then so it's memories more than anything. You know what I mean. That's.
And just to rewind a little bit, trades. Is that like trade betting?
Yeah. You trade it. Yeah, it's like that's what we're doing. We're not trading. We're not trading on the stock market, we're trading bets, but we're pretty much doing what they're doing on the stock market to a certain extent. I don't know what they're doing on the stock market really, because I don't bloody gamble on the stock market, you know what I mean? To me, that's what it is.
Right.
To me, like, there's no, you know what I mean? They're on the stock market, you know what I mean? Unless, there is professional traders on the stock market that have systems, obviously, they're not telling us, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So you know, at the end of the day, if you're either one of these people, it's the same with gambling. At the end of the day, you're a straight shooter. You're either one of these people that have a system to win, or you don't. You know what I mean? And if you want to be a bloody idiot and be one of these people in between that think you do, when you really don't, well, you don't impress me, or you know what I mean, or any real professional gambler or trader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. We live in the real world. You know what I mean, sort of thing. You know what I mean. We don't bullshit, and you know, because if you can't bullshit yourself, you can't bullshit your bank account, can you?
No, of course.
You know what I mean. So,
and just one final question before we finish today. Would you have any words of advice for any potential future professional gamblers?
don't gamble.
Don't gamble. Simple as that.
Don't gamble.
Right on.
Hedge your bets.
Hedge your bet.
Just like you hedge your trades on the stock market. Just like hedge funds.
That's what it's all about. That's what the word's out there for, mate.
And this is why you're here doing it. It's a good service you're doing.
Yeah, YouTube want to pay me some bloody good money for it too.
Anyway, thank you so much, Benjamin, for joining me today.
Good shit, mate. Good shit.
Good shit. Hope you enjoyed your time here, and I hope you enjoyed your time here as well.
Or we might even do part 2 later.
Oh yeah, lad, check this out. The Aussie Rebel sold out to big corporation. Well, not really. W is an up-and-comer in the ever-expanding energy drink universe. Aussie Rebel TV and W got into bed, and we are proud to partner up with a growing company with similar goals to ourselves. We got lots in common. It's going to be a beautiful relationship, you sexy things. Use code word Aussie Rebel at W's checkout for 10% off, and use the link below so W pays me some coin, you little ripper. Check this out, Tyson Fury, I love it. Or if you want to be a real Irish Jippo, here's our incorruptible idol and godson of South Grafton, Conor McGregor. And to be a cute bastard, here is Khabib retired doing some cute shit. Look at this shit. Elon Husky, monetize me on Twitter, you prick. Being the corporate tart I am, I've developed a side relationship with make-believe apparel and prints. They look after me, allowing me to bring you their content for free in the future. It's a beautiful thing. Give them a like on Facebook and check out their website. They got some good shit.